How can you mentally prepare to have your own telemedicine practice? In today's video, I'm going to share some of my thoughts on what you really need to be doing up here to prepare yourself to launch your own telemedicine business. Obviously, there are many things you need to plan for when starting any sort of business, but with today's focus being on mental health and what you need to think through in your brain before you take any action. You definitely want to think before you do anything. So stay tuned for some pearls of wisdom on how to be successful with your business starting up here. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Annie. I'm the owner of Collaborating Docs. We help nurse practitioners find amazing collaborating physicians. And today is all about mindset of being an entrepreneur. So on this slide, I want to cover sort of getting into that mindset. So you have to walk the walk to talk the talk. So as an entrepreneur, you're having those big ideas, those innovative thoughts, those outside the typical sort of status quo concepts flowing in and out of your brain, hopefully all day long, every day. That's a true entrepreneur. The innovation and the creativity is just pouring out of you. So you need to do things that are going to get you into that place, such as reading books about becoming a business person, an entrepreneur, listening to podcasts. There's so many amazing ones out there that are going to really influence you and motivate you and encourage you to get out there. I'll include some in the description below that I enjoy and that you should definitely check out. Also, talking to other entrepreneurs to get their input, their guidance, their mentorship, and even just to sort of commiserate, compare notes. You want to surround yourself with the people that are going to make you who you want to be. So you may have heard that expression, the 5 people you hang out with the most definitely influence who you are the most. So if you're hanging with people that are punching a clock and just doing the bare minimum, those are not entrepreneurs and they're not going to get you in this correct mindset. You also need to have a clear idea of your end goal. So, for example, are you trying to make a certain amount of money per year? Do you want to be your own boss? Is that what is driving you? Do you want to get this kind of car or get that kind of vacation home? Do you want to set up your family for success for the future? Do you want to work from home because we're talking about telemedicine? Or do you want to care for patients on your own terms? All of these are very, very valid reasons to want to have your own telemedicine practice. And you just need to do some soul searching. What is your why? What is motivating you? And you better know it inside out, backwards, forwards, and every which way. You may think, whatever, I'm going to do telemed and that'll be great. No, you must have a goal in mind, because there will be tough times and you're going to need to rely on that overarching end goal, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that's going to get you where you want to be. I recommend writing it down. I have mine posted behind this computer screen, so it's staring me in the face every day as I work. I recommend you do the same or hang it up in your bathroom where you'll see it on the mirror, wherever. But everything you do is propelling you for that particular reason. So I wouldn't take it lightly. You might even have more than one goal, and that's fine, but really hone in on what drives you, because you will need to fall back on that when there are roadblocks and things making it challenging. Also, make sure your goals are reasonable in the short and long term. I do talk to a lot of nurse practitioners who are wanting to start their own practice, but they have very, very lofty goals of, I don't even want to say, but X amount of money per week or per day or annually. But it's really a stretch for anyone. You want to break it down. Well, if I'm going to see this many patients and each patient I get this amount of money, this is a rough ballpark of what I'll make. Don't multiply it by 10 your first year with a new business. It's going to take time. You may even have some negative months to get you to where you're looking to go. So I am a very big proponent of keeping day jobs until this new entrepreneurial venture takes off. That's what I have done several times in the past. You get the steady job, the employed job, maybe it's part-time or even PRN, but at least it's something you can count on no matter what happens to put money in the bank. And then as you grow, it makes sense to cut back on that. You definitely need to have your brain thinking of the risks and rewards. I don't know how many of you out there watch the show This Is Us. It's a favorite of ours around here. Actually, it's probably one of the only shows I ever watch. And I like how Randall, one of the characters, and his wife always they have this little game where they say the absolute worst thing that could ever happen based on sort of the situation at hand. And it can be sometimes a little morbid or terrible to even think of these things, but okay, I'm going to start my own telemedicine practice. What is the worst thing that could happen? I could put $10,000 into it and it's a total flop and I lose $10,000. That could happen, probably happens quite a lot. But notice the worst thing that could happen wasn't I'm going to pass away. I'm going to lose my mind. No, those things are not going to happen just if the business is a flop. You might lose some money. You might lose some time. You might sort of have missed out on other opportunities. And those are all negative things. But the world keeps turning and you'll learn from these mistakes and make it better for the next time. So, think about the risks, but luckily most of the time it's not a life or death sort of situation. Rewards are fun to think about. I recently read an article that entrepreneurs spend good time every day sort of daydreaming and looking to the future and what sort of things they want to achieve and things they want to accomplish. So you actually have to make time for that. I highly recommend walking daily, even if it's 20 minutes around your neighborhood with no distraction, not the phone in your hand, not music in your ears, not talking to somebody, just dreaming, daydreaming, thinking, analyzing. We live in this busy, busy world where things are coming at us at all times. So really try to clear that out and give your brain a chance to actually think. And lastly, you have to visualize what's going to happen and how you're going to achieve the goal. This is a big one for me. I used to think this was sort of hocus pocus, like, okay, sure, you got to have your dream board and put pictures of what your life is going to be like and words that mean something to your end goal and have it hanging in a prominent place in your office. Well, I'll tell you, once you start doing things like that, you'll start to realize they actually do help dramatically. So I can't explain it, but if you truly can picture all of these things happening to you, okay, I'm going to start my telemed practice nights and weekends, and it's going to be tough because I work during the day at the hospital, but I can picture that in 6 months, I'm going to have X number of patients making me X amount of dollars, and I'm going to tell my job I need to go part-time. And then for the next 3 months, I add on daytime hours for my telemed. Within 3 more months, I can picture giving my resignation, my 2 weeks notice, and then I am home doing the telemed. That's how I visualize it happening. It's realistic. And by putting it out there into the world, into your brain, into a picture, it's going to happen. So you got to keep that positive attitude. It is more than just that. It's really picturing how this is all going to unfold, and then it will. Obviously, it's not 100% guarantee, but it is a very, very much more, it is much, much more likely to happen if you put it out into the universe and can imagine how it's going to unfold. So hopefully these are some nuggets that you find helpful. If you do need help with finding a collaborating physician, happy to help. The link below is in the description for collaboratingdocs.com. And I wish you all the best of success. I'll see you next time.